Hello, welcome to a very cold video. It's very icy. We're in a cold snap, aren't we? It's hovering around -2, -1, 0. That's what I've seen in the last 5 minutes. It definitely is feeling cold. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but the canal is frozen. When it is cold like this, gravel bike, treaded tyres, canal towpaths, off-road tracks, it's considerably safer, I think, than roads and black ice. As regular viewers will know, especially Neil down under, I don't really like Zwift. I ain't going to be going on there, so it's nice to get out on proper outside stuff. Very picturesque though, don't you think? Lots of leaves this week. They weren't there a couple of weeks ago. I guess the cold snap will probably bring off the last of the autumn leaves off the trees. So when it is cold like this, what's the best way to dress? Well, as you might have seen in last week's video, when I was sleeping out rough, layers. It's all about the layers. Now today, on my legs, I've got some winter tights, some Altura winter tights. And my thighs are a little bit cold. I could probably do with an extra layer on the bottom. I do actually have a pair of Skins shorts, which are very thin, and I often wear those in the winter. I tend not to feel cold from my knees down. I tend to feel up my thighs. So an extra layer on my thighs often helps when it's cold like this. But not today. It's not quite cold enough, I don't think. I'm sure my thighs will warm up the further I ride. So sticking with the bottom half, as you can see, I've got full-on winter boots on. These are Specialized defrosters. I've had these a couple of years. They're great because they're both windproof and waterproof. I'm pretty warm. Wearing this style of boot in winter just makes sense because they're pretty warm. You might occasionally get cold toes. A bit of silver foil helps on odd occasion when that happens. The surface of the boots has got like a layer on it, which is easy to keep clean. It just sort of, it's waterproof, fully sealed, and just wipes. So if you get dirty as you do with grit, salt, dust, muck, mud, just washes off really easy. So on my top half, I've got a Megmeister base layer, long sleeved. Then I've got a regular long sleeved cycling top, which is not especially thick, quite thin but long sleeved. And then for layer number 3, I've got an FDX autumn jacket, again long sleeved. That's kind of a soft sheen material. It is quite breathable. It's definitely not windproof, but it's relatively breathable. And then to finish off on top, I've got this very bright new Decathlon windproof and waterproof jacket, top layer. This has some breathability, but is pretty windproof and very waterproof. I always think the beauty when it is cold like this of having a windproof layer on top is it definitely gives you some warmth by stopping that cold wind going through and getting to you. Always a good move, I feel. So on a crisp December day like this, when the sky is like it is, it always looks warmer than it is, but it's just great, isn't it, to be out in this kind of crisp weather. Fantastic. So I guess the final part of my winter clothing is, of course, gloves. You need a decent pair of gloves. So regular viewers of the channel will recognise these winter gloves. They've been in frozen water, they've been in icy cold water, and they're pretty good. They're perfect glove for this kind of weather. I'll drop a link below. They're still on Amazon. So yeah, they're terrific gloves. I've been really pleased with them. Fantastic. The other thing I occasionally do at this time of year is bring out a flask. I have some of my finest Brazilian filter coffee in the flask. I'm going to sit down in this very picturesque little spot in Bottisford and have a drink. So as you can see, I'm back on the road again. Nice little warming coffee. So I think the other thing at this time of year is to actually avoid getting cold, because often I think once you're cold, it can be difficult to get warm again, particularly on your extremities, so toes and fingers. And I think once your body is cold, once your core's cold, it can be difficult to get warmed up again. So I do think a good pair of gloves is definitely one of the big things that can help you to avoid getting cold. So I think one of the biggest things is definitely layers. The layers help kind of trap the warm air between the layers. I think a lot of thin layers is better than a couple of thick jumpers or thick layers. Thin layers, and lots of them, gives you maximum flexibility, maximum warmth, but layers definitely works. So I think at this year, when it is so cold, it can be hard to get out. So any chance to keep yourself warm and change your route. So like I have today, I've been mainly along tracks and canals on knobbly tyres. So yeah, it's icy, but you've actually got plenty of grip. I think almost without exception on the road, if I have fell off on ice, it is black ice on a tarmac road. I struggle to think of occasions when I've fallen off on ice off the road. So overall, wear lots of layers, decent boots, winter boots, decent winter gloves. You'll be rocking and rolling. So on that note, I shall leave you. I'm going to finish off today's cool ride. See you again in a week or so's time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you to everybody that has donated to my Just Giving page for Sleeping Rough last week. Over £600 now, which is just amazing. People have been so generous. So thanks again. See you again in a few days time. See you soon. Bye.